he's got a well-rounded game. So there's not an area at all that I'm underestimating. He has got that knockout power, which is always a factor, but so have I, and there's not an area that I doubt my skills, and I just believe that I want him more. I believe that I'm less rehearsed. I don't rehearse my combos. Everything I do is, it's reactive. I react to the fight, and I work well under pressure. And I think that's the difference between me and a lot of these other fighters. Yeah, whole camp over in Tristar. Maybe back for a week in between. Come back, see my girlfriend for a wee bit, and I'll work my boxing with John Tandy and a bit of Thai with Chris Carley in between as well. So, it's an opportunity to keep working with the striking coaches I've been working with since I came back. Yeah, FIRAS he's in the gym every day. He doesn't single out any of the fighters. He's just working with the whole team day in, day out. There's no favoritism to any of it. He's there for all the fighters, and he's pretty much one of a kind, I would say. I've never seen a coach that's so hungry, to learn and to keep pushing forward, and I'm lucky to be a part of that. I would say he's probably better than people even know so far. FIRAS has done it all. He's wrestled, at national level. He's competed in Thai, and he's a black belt under John Danaher. So I think that kind of speaks for itself, really. But he's a student of the game. He's always watching the fights. He's always studying. There's not 2 seconds that goes by that he's not got one eye watching a fight. Yeah, George is always in and out. Obviously, George has got a lot going on. I think he's working in films as well, and so on. So he's always popping in and out. I think he's took a few of the classes this week as well, and I know in my last camp I had a few questions I was firing at FIRAS, and he passed it on to George because it was an area that George is excelled at. So George was helping me with that. So it's a load of great guys to be around. I was struggling with hand injuries. A lot of fights. 3 or 4 of the 7 fights. Early on I was hurting my hands. I think it was maybe my 3rd fight. I broke my hand in the 1st round. I didn't get the stoppage until the 3rd. So it becomes draining. When you're fighting every fight and all you can do is punch, and your main tools are taken away from you. It is difficult. And I've been training all my life. I think the longest I spent without training was maybe 2 months. Where I was working, and sitting on the sidelines wasn't easy for me. This is my life. This is what I do day in, day out. I don't know no different. I've been doing this since I was 5, so it was quite a frustrating time for me. It is slightly different, especially in your early stages of boxing. I found it's kind of like amateur boxing, really. You could be fighting quite regular. So I was always walking around roughly at the weight I'm going to be fighting at, never too far away, just in case I got shot at any given time. So that was slightly different. And I would say that kind of stuck with me a little bit. I don't like to blow up too much in between camps. I like to kind of spar and train not too far away from what I'm going to be fighting at. So you're conditioned to take shots at that right weight, and I think that makes a big difference. Also in the cut as well. If you're fighting regular and you're ballooning up and dropping back down, it's difficult in the body, and without our body, we're not going to have a very long career. So you got to look after it. obviously working with my coach John Tandy, it was a massive difference. Just spending that amount of time specifically on one area, you know, it really does bring it to the next level. But you know, I spent 2 years. I spent 2 years doing this, and I kind of feel like it took 2 years to grasp it as well, to really get into it and get the benefits out of it that I've reaped from spending my time in boxing. To tell you the truth, I don't really look too much into all that stuff. I think after getting the stoppage so quick in the last fight, you know, I think that's what kind of pushed me up the rankings. I suppose it's all down to how the fight goes. You know, if the fight went like the last two has, then you know we could be knocking on the door pretty sharpish. So we'll see. You know, only time will tell, I suppose. That's it. I don't look past, you know, any of my fights. You know, I'm looking at Dustin at the minute, and you know, I don't intend on looking any further than that. You know, maybe after that fight, a holiday in Mexico or something.